Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University of Manchester, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Manchester Business School graduation ceremony here in the splendid surroundings of the Whitworth Hall. In particular, I would like to welcome your families and friends who are sharing this special occasion with you. I know the immense sense of pride that your family members must feel as they see you graduate. I'm sure that all of you graduating today will recognize the huge role that your family and friends have played in your success. It's not only the financial investment that they have made, but the support that I'm sure that you will have received when you thought that you would never complete your degree, the late-night calls, the constant encouragement, the shoulder to cry on. It is therefore right that we as a university also acknowledge the role that you, our guests today, have played in the success of your friends and family members. We honor you because the students that are graduating today are doing so because of the dedication and investment of others like you. Sometimes it seems that we are trapped in a microcosm of tranquility. The term ivory tower comes to mind, sheltered from the dramatic changes that are taking place around us. 3 years ago, I stood in front of an audience similar to this, and my message was one of optimism. We had never had it so good. The university had completed a major capital building program, our merger had been hugely successful, and our graduates were entering a world where their skills were highly sought after. Yet in the space of a few years, everything has turned upside down. You are now entering an external environment where graduate unemployment has been the highest for over 20 years. We as an institution are facing cuts of 80% to our teaching budget from the government. Tuition fees are rising to £9,000 per annum and will make a British university education one of the most expensive in the world. I'm sure that all of you feel that we face an uncertain future, but let's put some of this into perspective. As graduates from MBS, you are in an extremely privileged position, and your achievement in completing your qualification should not be underestimated. Manchester is one of the leading research universities in the world, and to illustrate that, it was incredible news that 2 members of our staff, Professor Andrew Geim and Professor Konstantin Novoselev, were awarded the Nobel Prize for their discovery of graphene, a material which is going to transform areas like the development of transistors, solar cells, conducting electrodes such as touchscreens, and integrated circuits. However, the really incredible story about the discovery of graphene is not the brilliance of the scientists who invented it. The use of a bit of sellotape will, I am certain, enter scientific folklore, but the fact that it epitomizes what university research is all about. Firstly, they are Russian-born, living proof that science is an international field. Yes, they are immigrants, and we as an institution benefit hugely from our immigrants in all fields: science, humanities, economics, medicine, and the performing arts. But the critical point about their revolutionary scientific breakthrough is that it would not have been possible without academic freedom. Scientists, whether they work in the physical sciences or the social sciences, must be given the freedom to come up with radical and unorthodox ideas, accepting the fact that research sometimes fails. Scientists must be given the freedom to follow research to a dead end. It is why universities were created, to drive forward the pursuit of knowledge and truth, and it is why we are so angry when governments talk about the privileged few who benefit from university education as a reason for increasing fees and withdrawing from contributing to the endeavour. Society benefits from the knowledge that comes out of these institutions in ways that you cannot categorise or cost or put into some sort of balance sheet. That you are privileged is not in doubt. Consider first the fact that in our society today in the UK, of the 600,000 students who reach 16 each year, more than 300,000 will fail to get 5 GCEs at grades A to C. Most of those who fail to achieve these grades come from the lowest social groups. When it comes to preparation for entry to leading higher education institutions like Manchester, only 0.2% of pupils on free school meals, that's in the whole country, only 176 children achieved 3 grade A's at A-level out of a total of nearly 30,000 learners. So the fact remains that despite numerous government initiatives, only 40% of young people in this country have the opportunity to study at university. And research-intensive universities like Manchester the number of students from lower socioeconomic groups remains pitifully small. Every year, through an alumni program, we sponsor about 20 students from Uganda and Bangladesh to come to study in Manchester or take part in one of our distance learning programs. It is part of our program of Equity and Merit Scholarships, where we hope to give the brightest students from countries where they do not have the opportunity or the resources to benefit from a Manchester education. I have interviewed some of these students, and they all understand the life-transforming impact of educational opportunities that they are being offered, not just for themselves and for their families, but for their country. It is a small program. We only have the resources to support 20 students. Over 1,000 apply for the program in Uganda, all of them highly intelligent and quite able to qualify to study at this university. They know that education and work are the levers to lift up a people. So you are privileged because you have been given an opportunity which most young people have been denied. But the most optimistic thing about these students is that the reason they value the opportunity so greatly is that they see themselves as a force of change in their countries. They are not corrupted by the limitations of the real world and by its insurmountable problems. They imagine solutions. They learn so that they can change the world around them. Society will benefit from their education. And if there ever was a time when change is so desperately needed, it is now. We are facing not just an economic crisis, but a moral one. We are the fourth richest country in the world, yet inequalities between those at the top of our society and those at the bottom are the greatest that there have been for over 100 years. At the end of this ceremony, many of you will congregate in the quadrangle outside the building to celebrate the occasion. In the corner of that quadrangle is a plaque which honors students and staff of the university who sacrificed their lives in the two great wars of the last century. Even though I have worked here in Manchester for over 18 years, I have to admit that I had never noticed that memorial until last week. Perhaps it was the contrast of the red wreaths against the white of the snow. But as I read the names of the men and women, I reflected on the fact that they would have sat in the same hall with the same hopes and aspirations that you have. It was their surviving parents, brothers and sisters, friends and families who after the Second World War bequeathed us much of what we came to expect as the prevailing orthodoxy for the next 40 years: the welfare state, the NHS, full employment, free access to higher education, and much, much more. It was the evils of ignorance, want, idleness, squalor, and disease that were some of the causes of the wars that took their lives. And I can imagine how the people who came through that terrible period in Europe's history sought to ensure that we would never have to go through that again, that young lives would never be lost to the futility of war, that the concentration camps, the massive civilian casualties, would never happen again. That is why these structures were created. And although there were problems, on the whole, they served their purpose well. Such short memories we have. Last year, two researchers from Nottingham in York, Richard Wilkinson and Kate Pickett, produced a seminal text on inequalities, showing systematically how societies which are more equal almost always do better. The facts speak clearly for themselves. Britain is one of the most unequal societies in the developed world. The richest fifth of our population have an income of more than 7 times that of the poorest fifth. The same ratio for Japan and Finland is just over 3. Wage inequality between the richest and poorest is now as great as in 1854 when Charles Dickens was writing Hard Times. And this is a recent phenomenon. The income gap measured using the Gini coefficient shows that income inequality is 40% worse than it was in 1974. And we have the crime statistics, the mental illness, the teenage pregnancies, the obesity, and the literacy scores to prove it. What happened to the hopes of that generation that sat in this hall over 70 years ago? Is it really the case that elitism is efficient, that exclusion is necessary, that prejudice is natural, that greed is good, and that despair is inevitable? Listening to our politicians today, you would think that this is the natural order. We are given lessons in home economics by a coterie of ministers who all apparently studied politics, philosophy, and economics at Oxbridge and who should know better. It may be unfashionable to say this, but I have travelled with over 500 students to one of the first demonstrations against the tuition fee increases. What impressed me was how knowledgeable the students were. They know exactly what the issues are, and it was heartening to realise that they weren't campaigning for themselves, After all, none of them were going to be affected by the fee increases, but they were campaigning for the future students, for the future of higher education. Something is profoundly wrong with the way we live today. For the past 30 years, we have made a virtue out of material self-interest. In fact, for many, this now constitutes whatever remains of our sense of collective purpose. We know what things cost, but no longer have an idea of what they are worth. We never ask about fairness or justice or morality. These used to be the political questions, and it seems that we no longer pose them because they are so difficult. Better to retreat into glib answers about deficit reduction, welfare scroungers, and everyone having to suffer the pain of profligacy. We need to change the parameters of the debate if we are going to have a better society or a better world. Why am I telling you all this? Because as you graduate, I want you to reflect on these inequalities and consider the personal responsibilities that should make you informed and engaged citizens. You can, through your actions and the choices that you make in your future career, especially in your chosen professions, do things that can make a difference. If change is required, then universities can play a hugely important role. We can help create new ideas and better societies because we are free, because we challenge assumptions and challenge ourselves. As students who have studied in one of the most preeminent institutions in the UK, you need not be tainted by my generation's narrow obsession with growth in formula and metrics, which somehow sought to explain away uncertainty and greed. Universities are a peculiar, hybrid sort of place, dedicated to free thought and the pursuit of knowledge for its own sake, and at the same time devoted to the public good. While both of these aims draw upon a vast store of knowledge, they also require unconventional and speculative thought, tested and prodded through disagreement, discussion, and debate. That is exactly what you have been doing. Some of you researching, others assessing the research that generates fresh ideas. While much of the world's focus is so often on near-term results, universities take the long view to see the issues of the moment in the light of history and with eyes on a horizon beyond tomorrow's headlines. We have an obligation not just to serve, but to doubt, not just to help shape prevailing wisdom, but to question it. That is your challenge. Paraphrasing a famous quote, you have to move away from asking why things are the way they are and start dreaming of things that never were and ask, why not? Knowledge and people with knowledge are critical to addressing the challenges that face us. That is what we do as a university. This is who we are. We produce knowledge and we disseminate it. We teach our students as we share the fruits of our research. But all of my colleagues, as teachers and researchers, will tell you that we teach for a purpose, to contribute what we can to a better, more humane, more intelligible world. Some of us will do this through a devotion to improving human health or investigating climate change, others by considering how law and policy can advance justice, or by finding new meaning in timeless texts or great works of art, while others still by analysing economic upheavals and devising means to address them. All of us share an opportunity to demonstrate, through the imaginative pursuit of knowledge, why our universities embody society's most enduring investment in the future. This ceremony has been repeated in much the same way in this hall for over 100 years. I myself do not understand the significance of all the bowing and doffing of hats, the standard bearers, the procession. But the essence of what the ceremony conveys is our independence, our role not as a bureaucracy or a government agency or a social science agency, but our job to train, to educate, and to question. The president of Harvard University put it better than I ever could when she said, "The essence of a university is that it is a uniquely accountable to the past and to the future, not simply or even primarily to the present. A university is not about results in the next quarter. It is not even about who a student has become by graduation. It is about learning that molds a lifetime, learning that transmits the heritage of millennia, learning that shapes the future. A university looks both backwards and forwards in ways that must, that even ought to conflict with the public's immediate concerns or demands. Universities make commitments to the timeless, and these investments have yields we cannot predict and often cannot measure. So university education should be a transforming experience where I hope you have been encouraged to confront your own personal beliefs, values, assumptions, expectations, hopes, and fears. We hope that we have helped you develop global perspectives and encourage you to reflect on wider social and environmental issues. But it is not just about achievement in the traditional sense that is important. We come to universities not only to further our careers, but to become citizens. And in order to make good citizens, our responsibility as your teachers has been to educate people capable of building just, humane, and sustainable human communities on a small and exceedingly dangerous planet. Knowledge, wisdom, and humanity, to translate the Latin motto of this university, is what we have tried to impart. Our founding statement, read out when we created the new university in October 2004, stated that we wanted to make our university a place where students, whatever their backgrounds, learn to pursue truth through rational inquiry, where researchers engaged in discovery are also teachers, where research is valued both for its own sake and for the betterment of the world, where academic freedom is encouraged and protected, where the cultivation of cognitive skills, independence of mind, intellectual integrity, and artistic expression promotes understanding and appreciation of the best that is known, thought, and created in the world, and where students and staff are encouraged, as responsible citizens of their own societies and of the international community, to embrace fundamental human and civil rights as the only just, sustainable basis for a humane civilization. That is a challenge that we now set to you, to use the knowledge that you have gained not only from your own and your family's achievement, but for the betterment of society, for tolerance and understanding. Education is what will help us to innovate, to challenge bigotry, and to embrace fundamental human and civil rights, and meet the challenges of the future. Things may be bad outside this hall, but you should never give in to pessimism, never surrender your fate to chance. Use your education to endure and seek out new frontiers. At times of volatility, uncertainty, and change, we must become the architects of change, not its victims. Searching for some words to express all this, to give you some optimism as you go away, I came across a quote from Jeremy Bentham, who, like John Owen, who bequeathed his university to us, founded a university, in his case, University College London. Shortly before his death, he sent a birthday letter to a friend's young daughter in which he wrote, "Create all the happiness you are able to create. Remove all the misery that you are able to remove. Every day will allow you to add something to the pleasures of others, or to diminish something of their pains. And for every grain of enjoyment you sow in the bosom of another, you shall find a harvest in your own bosom, while every sorrow which you pluck out from the thoughts and feelings of a fellow creature shall be replaced by beautiful peace and joy in the sanctuary of your soul." Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ismail, for those inspiring and challenging words. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to add my welcome on behalf of everyone at Manchester Business School to friends and families who've come long distance to join us today, and especially to congratulate our graduates for all you've accomplished. Most of you arrived in September 2009 from some 60 different countries. Some of you didn't speak English as your first language, not even your second language. You were thrust into this city, not knowing it, having to find a place to live and a place to shop, and then thrust into a very rigorous program. Can you believe a little more than a year has gone by and here you sit? That's a great accomplishment you should be very proud of. I'm joined on the platform this afternoon by some very dear colleagues, those who have worked with you, tutoring and supervising and advising and holding hands, the faculty and staff of MBS. If I could ask them please to stand to be acknowledged. When we call our graduates up here in a few minutes, you'll hear many different specializations being recognized. There are 6 in this ceremony. Altogether today, we are recognizing granting degrees in 26 different areas. The breadth of topics says something about MBS, that we recognize the wide reach of business and management, and that in any of those fields into which our graduates go professionally, they'll bring a common set of skills and knowledge. Our mission is to help transform your lives so you can transform the organizations in which you'll work and the communities in which you'll live. The broad reach of MBS and the high caliber of our students and our alumni ensure that MBS will continue to be a major transformational force in business and society. The rigor and breadth of the offerings in MBS also reflect our belief in the increasingly complex and nuanced 21st century, in which one must possess specialized knowledge but understand how that connects more broadly. Knowledge cannot be compartmentalized and contained. Important insights spring from many disciplines and many application areas, and conversely, knowledge and experience need to be applied widely. So whilst we organize our offerings into different programs, we stress the importance of eschewing boundaries and encourage our students always to break down barriers and cross borders in your professional lives. We hope that the MBS experience has two complementary effects on you: to have provided the specialized expertise required for success today, but also to have exposed you to the diversity of approaches, paradigms, contexts, and experiences that define the modern world. For one thing is certain about your future: opportunities will arise tomorrow that you simply cannot foresee today. You can seize them and prosper if you are agile, if you're willing to question and cross boundaries, and strong enough to break down barriers. These are not insignificant outcomes from your time at MBS, and for that reason, we believe you have received and will continue to receive good value for your money, for the tuition fees you paid. I mention that because, as Professor Ismail indicated, Parliament right now is in the midst of voting to allow universities to raise their fees for home students. And that certainly doesn't apply directly to you. You'll have degree in hand, and many of you already have paid high fees for your education. But the quality of MBS and our reputation, what we offer you and the support we give you, does affect your future. It'll help, among other things, in this very challenging time, to give you access to good jobs, and we have an excellent record in that. For example, in the throes of the worst economic downturn in modern history, our full-time MBA students, who we have lots of good statistics for, 90% of the 2010 class already are in new jobs, most paying higher than they had before. Historically, our MBA students have realized a 105% increase in their salary from the time they came to 3 years after they've left. And those same positive results still pertain to our MSc students. That is as good a record, if not better, than any business school anywhere in the world. I'll conclude on that positive note and congratulate you again. I look forward to having you all as active alumni. Now, more than any time, society needs you to help transform it. The future will be your legacy, and that will continue to make the University of Manchester and MBS proud. I'm now very pleased to call forward Mr. Jerry Green, who is the chairman of the Global Alumni Council, to talk about alumni relations. Jerry?
Thank you very much. I would like to add my congratulations to every one of you on your graduation. I am sure that you are proud of what you have achieved and that you will build on this success in the years ahead. 20-odd years ago, I was sitting where you're sitting, having gained a degree in economics and accountancy. I then trained to be a chartered accountant with a Big Six firm. I floated a business on the London Stock Exchange, became FD of a listed pub company, and today I jointly own and run a commercial property investment business. Along the way, I've travelled large parts of the world, been invited to a party by legendary cricketer Ian Botham, helped two England rugby internationals set up their own clothing business. And I've met the man whose main claim to fame is that he was the voice of one of the vultures in the Jungle Book. And I've also spent 3 years working alongside the BBC dragon Duncan Bannatyne. And I tell you all those things not to sell my story, but just to illustrate that I had no idea that I'd be doing any of those things when I was sat where you're sat today. As chairman of the Alumni Association, I would like to welcome you to the association. Today is the day that you become an alum of the Manchester Business School and automatically become a member of the Alumni Association. My objective today is first of all to persuade you to register with the alumni section of the school's website, MBSNet, but also to ask you to treat that registration as the start of a lifelong association with MBS. Today, the most obvious advantage of registering is knowing that wherever your career takes you in the future, you will always have a point of contact with your old friends at the school. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. MBSNet will keep you up to date with news from the school and tell you about alumni events, some of which are social, some educational, some a mixture of both. These events take place some in Manchester, some in London, and many other locations all around the world. These regional groups across the world help alumni keep in touch with other alumni and keep in touch with the school. If a local group doesn't exist where you are, then get in contact with us and we'll help you set one up. As our careers and lives evolve, our needs change. Whether you're looking for career advice, technical advice, general business advice, social contacts, or business updates, the Alumni Association is your lifelong friend. In these difficult economic times, and they've been mentioned more than once this afternoon, the more you differentiate yourself from others, the better your chances of getting the job that you really want, and the more chance you have of making further career and progress in your career. Active alumni membership will give you access to information and to people who can help you set yourself apart. The more of you that maintain a link with MBSNet, the better our community will be, and the better our overall service to you. Finally, we are always delighted to receive offers of support for the association itself. Wherever your geographic location, if you can spare us some time and want to contribute to our further development, please get in touch, either with myself or through the Alumni Relations Office. I remain enormously proud of my association with Manchester Business School, and I have no doubt that my education here provided the bedrock for my career. I'm sure you will feel the same way too. I again congratulate you and wish you the very best in your future careers. Whether it's to keep in touch with old friends, to maintain a link with the school, or to take advantage of the many services the school and the association can provide, I urge you to keep in contact in the years ahead. Thank you for listening to me.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Master of Science in Analytics, Operational Research and Risk Analysis, Georgios Athanasopoulos. Kunal Ashok Bise. Nan Lu. Ishadi Ruanika Malahoda. Manahil Asif Qureshi. Tefu Teo. And in Corporate Communications and Reputation Management, Denise Bob Jones. Joanna Elena Chobotariu. Anna Danielyuk. Siyi Feng. Pingting Gale. Adriana Garcia. Gui Feng Guo. Zhongjing Zhou. Mikalan Joseph. Yeri Kang. Harald Michael Klett. Anna Constantara. Maria Leonidou. Elizabeth Moore Liver. Rebecca Alsa Lung. Jing Luo. Danya Menon. Maria Michael. Kaori Nanakida. Dekathorn Nawakanon. Chukwuyemeka Jude Okonkwo. Abiola Ibilola Oni. Sophia Pingu. Katyayani Rajput. Tatiana Romanovich. Jingjing Shu. Sailendra Kumar Shamshuka. Ayo Sun. Evangelina Saliliandu. Xing Tan. Elena Timoshina. Dawei Wang. Ziying Wang. Si Wang. And in Innovation Management and Entrepreneurship, Shrey Agarwal. Saurabh Arora. Wen Chen. Winnie Wing Yin Chung. Rume Chogwin. Claudia Darbanova. Marcus Peter Diemel. Yanita Dimandieva. Philip Donahue. Uzoma Valerie Equibellum. Yanis Georgiontis. Nikhil Gupta. Adam Hasdra. Matthew Timothy Jeff Watts. Saad Khalid. Rajkaran Kobanda. Russell Thomas King. Kylie Victoria Macmillan. Laura Kate Needham. Maya Mistry. Sumaya Monzur Nokshi. Ipsita Saluja. Amir Barman Rajendad. Kyriakos Spiriopoulos. Supatra Sangvatanankun. Bak Hui Tran. Taria Joy Abua. Christina Vince. Barbara Woodhome. Suanyi Wu. Nan Chiam. Anum Yassin. Zayu Zhao. And in International Business and Management, Adedayo Sekinat Adelaja. Amachachukwa Azuka Agu. Adeleke Ajao. Temitope Olubutosin Ajayi. Amar Al-Hawaj. Kabar Baghdadi. Alex Edward Jenkins Blackett. Elizabeth Brzezinska. Mehmet Sona Kalis. Sanator Cherunganant. Arpit Chola. Qian Cheng. Yuting Chia. Judith Ewald. Pranav Goel. Vidi Goel. Alexander Roy Hammond. Jennifer Herbert. Yu Ri Hong. Jingyuan Hu. Jinwei Huang. Mutsuki Ikagaki. Amrita Jambavalikar. Basita Jantabutara. Lena Fedeva Kapitanova. Gunit Kaur. Shayan Khan. Nguyen An Min Kim. Anna Kirkuli. Yu Lee. Fei Lu. Vibo Maini. Qian Meng. AJ Vital. Stephen Malumbi. Crystalia Muistadu. Ramida Narowitz. Tama Nindum. Ioannis Niotsikos. Aaron Lee Nuremberg. Nino Notsabudza. Moesoro Akindele Ogunusi. Adedemola Kafayat Oluokun. Panayotis Panayotu. Demetrius Papathanopoulos. Apirapon Premthamkon. Jennifer Puyo. Puneet Rilan. Karina Sabelski. Prisukon Sawatrukiat. Guja Shroff. Ramjanda Singh. Nicholas Steele. Tim van Berkel. Catherine Fleetstra. Yi Yao Wang. Katrin Weninger. Anuradi Ruandika Widyankalankara. Beata Miratni Dvorska. Fan Yang. Merv Yilmaz. Yongpen Zhang. And in marketing, Akriti Agarwal. Ratri Inastu Ardeningrum. Sweta Bagaria. Pradeep Balakrishnan. Rohit Bothra. Rebecca Joy Burgess. Mihir Chandan. Yingpin Chang. Yutsu Chu. Cornelius Peter Deckers. Tian Yuan Dong. Christine Ikosi Pentatru. Theodore Somerston Espelid. Ruth Gillies. Simeon Anton Goldwood-Beck. Goldbeck-Wood. Jennifer Louise Hill. Yicheng Hu. Ahamafula Ikechi Iberi. Thomas Jegel. Itaya Jakong Thamaku. Nikhil Jejurika. Priyam Jayant Joshi. Mastak Pal Kaur. Yun Mi Lee. Jian Liao. Bilgin Malgil. Chia Yun Mei. Melissa Netta. Ni Pam Puang Nguyen. Natasha Perek. Articha Batiste. Andreas Periclios. Tisiruk Potavanic. Quio. Guan Ling Kwek. Yashvardan Hemant Ruya. Serbi Sabu. Mansi Shah. Nafisa Shah. Suripat Servanovan. Supriya Srisakal Chawla. Xiao Sung. Tai Suyaningrum. Tanyavi Varunchan. Fei Fei Xi. And in operations, project and supply chain management, Asim Abdul Sattar. Felix Gilberto Ayaza. Eleni Baniari. Wasim Chakala. Billy Sai Lim Chan. Ting Chen. Teo Chen. Hilda Ajoa Essel. Farnoosh Garai. Anna Glover. Pramay Jain. Priya Bhavana Jalakam. Anchit Kaka. Anandita Hanant Kulkwani. Chao Yan Lan. Ziliang Liu. Adajeji Olakunle Ogunde. Olayinka Olawutosin Ogunleyi. Uchechukwu Charles Okori. Sebastian Olivia. Peter Joseph Osborne. Paul Robert Owen. Lucas Fall. Peter Duncan Rogers. Mert Sotoglu. Ripudaman Singh. Mark Alexander Switage. Begum Tute. Ovi Udi. Elizabeth White. Chung Chen Yang. Hua Yi. Elaine May Yen Yeo. Kansu Yildirim. And for the postgraduate diploma in innovation management and entrepreneurship, Garo Bodjelian. and in Marketing, Wengpeng Su. And for the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Management and Technology and Systems Management, Sudarsan Topai Sakar. And for the Postgraduate Diploma in Global Business Analysis, Simon Ho.
Today, we have celebrated the award of your degrees. Congratulations. On behalf of the University of Manchester, I extend to each of you our very best wishes for your future. I now declare this ceremony closed. Please stand.